Welcome to Dr. Auto Mechanics. Today we're going to be putting on some motor mounts.
Let's see what we got here. So this is the part number 6424. I ordered these from AutoZone. I got them on a sale for 30 bucks for both of them. This is what they look like. Looks kind of crusty, rusty. So we're gonna see. They're made by Eagle. Made in Pakistan, not China. So it should be good. Hopefully.
That's where all the good stuff comes from, Pakistan.
So, not China. So this is Eagle. They smell really bad.
That's how you know they're good though, when they smell like shit.
And so, yeah, we're gonna test it out. We're gonna see how this works, and we're gonna take you through this journey process and see what happens. See how bad we mess up.
Okay, this is our first time ever doing motor mounts. We're excited.
Very excited. So we'll see what happens, and we're gonna take you through this whole process. Enjoy.
Alright guys, so first thing you gotta do is gotta jack up the car. Got a couple jack stands here. We gotta take off the front wheels just because it makes it easier to access the motor mounts. We have to jack up the car, take off the wheels, then you put a piece of wood under the oil pan with the jack. We're going to be jacking up the motor. Well, first we're going to support it, take out the bolts, and then jack it up, and then we'll show all the steps. That's the bolt right in there for the engine mount. As you see, we have the piece of wood up there right underneath the oil pan. So now we're going to take out this one bolt. A little PB blaster is always good. There's some bolts right back in there where it connects to the motor. Those are actually pretty hard to get into. I use some PB blaster though first, of course. A little sniper action. Get it back there. A little sniper. And it looks like it leaked down to the other one too. Two things. Number one, in there, that one on the right you can get with extensions. The one on top you can get with extensions on the left. There's a third one a little bit lower. Everything's in the way for that. So for that one we got to go to the other side, do the other two, and the big nut at the bottom.
Can you shut your pants?
I did pass a little gas there.
Jesus, the freaking fan is straight to my face.
Yeah, I got a fan going on here.
Yeah.
Straight right to him. Where was I? Oh yeah, so you can take out those two, but the one that's lower, you definitely have to jack up the motor. So that means on the other side, you can do the other three, and since the bottom one that's holding it into the subframe will be off, you'll technically now be able to raise the motor. The motor mount will still be connected to the motor, but we'll be able to reach the third one once it's up a couple millimeters. Let's just say 1 inch, because it can't go up too far. We have attachments on attachments because of how deep that is. So just know that you need some extendos. So now we're going to the other side, do the same thing. This side's a lot easier than the other side, as you see, because there's no exhaust coming through there. So it's a lot more open. Still, that one bolt looks a little difficult to get to.
You got one. You got those.
What the hell's going on here? I can't see anything.
Top with the 25 breaker bar.
See, we're coming from the top. Oh yeah.
You got it?
I mean, that was a little break right there, but found out there's a fourth bolt back here that we forgot about. So the best thing to do for that one is actually a little, we don't even call this new technology that came out just a couple years ago. What are these things called?
I don't know, man.
A ratcheting
Ratchet wrench?
wrench.
Ratchet wrench, that's what it's called.
A ratchet wrench. I remember there's another name that starts with a C. Something, I can't remember right now. It's slipping my mind. But there's a bolt back here. Once all four bolts are out, and the bottom nut down here. Alright, I need you to jack up the car.
Oh. Oh god. How far?
To the top, man. Raise the roof. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're coming up.
Look at that thing there. Look at that. Look how beautiful.
Alright, right there, man. That's it. It's not going anywhere. This is the motor mount on one side, and we're stuck right here. There's the motor
It's
mount.
right here.
We can't even take it out. We couldn't take it out the other side.
So we got it from down there. We couldn't go down from the bottom. That opening was not big enough.
The driver's side is impossible to take out.
That opening's not big enough. So I don't even know how he did this. He slid it somehow underneath there and started coming up to here. I think we're gonna take out the intake hose right now.
Yeah, I got that.
Right here. So we can just pop that thing out of there. Alright, onto the driver's side. This one, because of the exhaust, is like impossible to get out.
Oh my god, this shit was loose.
So, I don't know. I'm hoping that since the one on the other side is out now, that this one will be easier to take out because now the engine will have more plate to move around. It's the only thing I can hope for, because this has been a hassle.
Coming out, bitch. Alright, here. I'm gonna push this in and you pull it out.
Listen.
Go, man. It's gotta come out now. No, why are you pushing down?
Because the
Oh god.
the screw shit was still in the way, man.
Oh my Lanta.
The fucking stud coming out of there.
Fine.
There it is.
That's it. Done.
Because of the stud coming out of here, this is the stupidest design. They should have put where a bolt goes into it. Alright, so now you gotta separate that inner piece out. Let me go get the 14. That's a 14, by the way. All the bolts on here and nuts and everything are just 14. You need 14s and extensions and a ratcheting wrench. I think this is the last time I ever want to do motor mounts. An impact gun would be nice right now because we'll just impact this shit right off, but we don't have that. No, not this house.
The other house, yes.
My house. Should have brought it. Ah, there's your impact right there. Still haven't even. Can you relax? What are you doing over here?
I don't know, man. Just trying to get it.
Damn, it's gonna, they're gonna feel like they're on a damn ride. All that movement.
It's okay, image stabilization.
I don't know, man. I hope this fixes your car because.
Alright, well, shit, has to. Gotta sell it, don't worry. With the new struts coming in also. Race car, race car.
If it still makes that damn shaking
Oh man.
after this,
Listen man, they'll talk that smack.
just make sure you see how you took it off. See that right there?
Yeah bro, look, right here, look at the bottom. It has the same little.
You know what you do with this shit? Garbage. It's always good to keep nuts and bolts and all that because you can always use them on other parts.
See, look, there's a little piece right there. It's gonna go into that hole.
We check the other side, the side that clips in, and this is the side that really matters.
Wait, where's that other part?
I don't know, man. I'm tired of this.
Say man.
Can't do this no more. Alright guys, for this side, oh shit, camera fucking flopping all over the place. Alright, this side, since the other motor mount's out of there, I don't know if you see the damn finger. The whole engine can move, of course, because the motor mounts. So we're creating a lot more play.
Okay man, okay, once you do this, I'm gonna like pop it right out, so.
Couple things. Number one, this is hell to take out on the driver's side. So we found out if you have a strut bar, you definitely have to remove the strut bar because it'll stop the motor from going high enough to actually have room to take this out.
Yeah, so you want to remove the strut bar, both sides,
Just
and,
say-
and raise it up as high as possible, and then you pull it out from here.
They screw it right from the top. The other side also came from the top. So remember these pieces, the big piece that actually attached to the motor, those come out from the top. The other little piece that goes around the bottom part, that comes out from the bottom. So definitely this has to be where the vibration's coming from because this is broken apart, which means the part on the motor and the part on the subframe that are supposed to be attached to stop the motor from shaking were separated. So that means the motor could shake on one side like crazy. So this definitely has to be the issue. Now we're gonna put in a new one. Vibration should be gone. I don't know how we're gonna fit this down there, but
So you gotta move the motor, man. Move just a little bit. Alright, there, wait, hold on. Alright, now you just gotta go under there and grab it.
hours and hours and hours and hours. Do not do this at home. Wait, how do I say this?
I mean, you can do it at home.
Do it at home if you want to be stressed.
But I think we don't have the right tools either, man.
No, listen, this shit down there is terrible. Terrible. Took us hours because down below, I thought it was slotted, but there's actually two separate holes in there. I can show that. There's actually two separate holes in there. So whenever it slides into the top hole, it's too high for all the rest of the bolts to line up. But there's not enough room to slide it into the bottom bolt. I don't know how we just did it. I would never do this again. I would pay someone to do this. Never again. This was terrible. Hours. Look, it's night. Again, this is day 2 because I wanted to get my impact gun so it could be torqued nicely because it was hard to torque the back of it when it wasn't mounted on anything. But now hours and hours just to get one in. The other one went in so easy on the passenger side. This side, terrible.
Hey, give me the 14.
Hate my life. God. I'd never again. You couldn't pay me to sit in a room with someone and watch them do this. See, we're going to be having another video coming at you, replacing the struts. That's going to be a 1-hour job, easy. We have another video coming at you, replacing the stud. That one. We just did it before. It's going to be a separate video, how to replace studs. Easy. Literally, that video is going to be 1.5 minutes. This, hours. I can't get over it. I don't even want to look at this car anymore. He doesn't even want to look at this car anymore. Oh, however, if you have motor mounts that are located more towards the top, alright. A lot easier to get to. Like sometimes they're located on the sides of the motor. Then, alright, it's right there. These, at the bottom, I would never do this again. So, what other people won't tell you while doing this, oh yeah, do this, do that, do this. So, insert them from the top, remove them from the top, put them in from the top. The driver's side, biggest hassle. Exhaust is in the way, there's this bar going through here that's in the way. It does not want to line up. The other side, I believe, is slotted, so it falls perfectly into the right place. This side has 2 holes that it always falls in the top one, and it's almost impossible to get to the bottom one. Alright, we like just finished day 2. Took 2 days to finish this. Sorry for my venting, I just couldn't take it. It was driving me insane. Should you do this at home? I don't think so. This is not a job. If you have the little extra money, just take it to someone, because if your motor mounts are located underneath, like on this Miata, hell, you have hell to pay. So from now on, we're probably going to be explaining whether or not it's worth doing a project at home. This is one of those times where we say no. Don't do it. A little popular right now.
But you can do it. Is that you?
Yeah, I think so. You can do it. It's not suggested. That's what we're coming down to. So if you are going to do this, when you actually get in here, remember the way we took it out was from the top. The way we put it back in was from the top. When you put it back in from the top, you just gotta maneuver that thing everywhere until you can finally get in there. And there's 3 holes you'll notice if you look from the top. If you look from the bottom, it's 2 holes. Those 2 holes are actually the middle and the top hole. You have to get it to the middle hole. If you get to the top hole, it's not going to line
I
up.
don't even know why I put it at the top hole. Why would they have a hole?
I don't know. It's terrible design. You have to get to the middle, and then it'll work out. We're gonna have a video showing how to do the new shocks, struts, whatever. I always forget which is which. New shocks, struts. I know one's because it has a spring on it, one does not.
So I bought these on eBay for a set of 4 for 80 bucks. So we're gonna do a nice little unboxing video, and we're gonna show you what Sensen, straight China Sensen. So represent. So we're gonna put them on, and hopefully this car will be on the road soon.
And we're also gonna have a 2-minute video because that's all it takes.
We have to change the stud.
How to change studs. We have to change one out. It literally took 30 seconds to do.
So
Really easy. All right, stay tuned, subscribe, like, follow our Instagram.